guys!
Happy Saturday and welcome back to Latte and Foam. Today we're going to do like an old school latte and foam, kind of like a mini podcast episode because we've been so busy lately. I know we were going to do weekly podcasts, but that didn't happen. Working on Manager.
Yes.
He's out now, by the way. If you haven't checked out our game, My Love for You is Evermore, now is the time because we have the full cast available now. Manager was a highly anticipated route. We'll put him on the screen. You can see why because people want to know what he looks like underneath there. But yeah, that's out now. We have his late night call available. Still have the bundle available for the other 4 guys. So yeah, just a little plug before we get into it. But today, what are we talking about?
So today we are going to be talking about Tokyo Love Hustle. It's a new game out by Voltage. We both played the prologue. We have lots of thoughts about the prologue, and we were like, we have to get on like video to talk about this. And we have some other updates on the app that we wanted to talk about for
just like Voltage updates in general.
Voltage updates and some updates about us about what's to come. So yeah, stay tuned, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's just like literally dive right into it.
In a seedy corner of Shinjuku dwells a group of phony psychic mediums. With winning smiles, they attract suckers and make bank. Fate then leads you to join this disreputable band.
So that sounds
pretty awesome
to me. And so I was like, yeah, it sounded interesting. Both of us were like, oh wow, like, I wonder, this is like seems super cool. I want to know. We're like really in the thick of it. We played the prologue, and I was like, what the hell did I just play?
So right off the bat, we were immediately disappointed by the same thing. So there's a secret that comes out. Oh wait.
Spoiler alert, just so we're clear, if you have not played the prologue, if you want to play the prologue and you don't want to watch, like you don't want to know anything about it before, stop watching right now, go play it, then watch this video, and then there we go. Then
we can just kiki about it then. But this, what I'm about to say, you find out within like 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
So it's like hardly even a spoiler. But if they would have just saved this, it could have made the prologue like 1,000 times more interesting.
Yeah.
But basically they do like one of those things where it's in the future, they do a little scene and then they're like, but how did I get here? Kind of a situation. This guy was there and she basically just says, like, this is who I thought was a female VTuber and he's standing right in front of me.
Which is a huge thing in the plot of the prologue, which I'm not sure how it's going to fit later, but it's like, they tell you right off the bat that this VTuber is this person that you're in front of right now.
Yeah, so now you know the secret that this female, bubbly, girly VTuber is actually this attractive man. Like,
yeah,
that is something that would have been a lot more interesting, especially with how much time they spend on this little VTuber arc just within the prologue. That would have been a way better giveaway later.
The way that they make it seem is that, like, then she doesn't know, but you're like, but you do know, and why are we spending this much time on it?
Yeah, because they go to the past, so past her doesn't know, but we all already know.
It's not like, it's not interesting where it's like, oh, we're leading up to a series of events, because if that was the case, you would just show him, like, how did I meet this person? And then you go through the series of events, because you're not really for sure. They literally tell you what it is, and you're like, yeah, the illusion is now gone. So they throw you back into the past you, and you find out, and I'm assuming she's a talent manager.
They don't clearly state what she does. Okay, so they throw it back to basically just a stereotypical skeevy, mean boss telling her, like, even though you've done a good job, he's like, well, you need to do an 1,000,000 times better job if you want to do.
Yeah, because she's on contract, but that's what gets me, because I'm like, if she's a talent scout, I don't understand.
It doesn't really make sense. And I think what she did, I guess, wrong is that she pissed off one of the talents, which is how we gathered that she's a talent scout in the first place.
Yeah, she made Miyu, I think that's her name.
Miyu, yeah.
We have a friend named Miyu. So.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny, and we had just seen her. She just came in from Japan, but...
So she's an idol, and then she made the idol mad by saying, like, keep up the good work, and, like, you never say that, which... It's a throwaway thing to me because I'm like, have you never told someone, like, keep up the good work?
I don't know if that's, like, a cultural thing for real or if that's just weird Voltage.
But that wasn't my first problem with it. If she is a talent manager or something like that, especially because we wrote a character that's a manager, and then I've seen, you know what I'm saying, like, even playing, like, Scan on the Spotlight, when you're a manager, it's not like you're just, like, contractually there.
Yeah, so it's like, I didn't get the sense that she was still in college, but she might have been just doing, like a work study type of a situation, but in which case she wouldn't be so desperate to keep the job.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure.
So her whole goal is to go find another talent to sign to the agency. And she's like going and hitting the pavement like this is like 2006. And she's like, I gotta find a really good talent to sign today. And like, this is where they plug in like TikTok in a sense. because they're like, oh, all of these like talent people are like on the internet, like maybe I can find someone.
And they kind of do Twitch too, like they talk about that like in a fake version as well.
Yeah, because this is going to somehow come up later. So of course, without a shadow of doubt, she's going to fail because that's how this prologue has to go. Otherwise, how are you going to get the mediums in there?
And can we just pause really quick? Because right here in the story is when she's kind of recapping how she's feeling about the situation. And what do? They cut to the sky.
Oh, that was so awkward.
And she'll be inside a room. And you can see the sky out the window and it's one color. And then they cut to the sky as she's like thinking. And it's the sky in a completely different color. And then they cut back to her inside that same room.
And they do it the most inappropriate times. It's so inappropriate. Then the day ends, the first day ends, and she goes to this bar and happens to run into her
coworker.
No, it's not her coworker.
Oh, I thought he worked there.
No, it was somebody she knew from the back of the day because he quit his job. That was the key thing he says.
Okay. I missed that.
So they knew each other back in the day in the office. He was an accountant. He no longer works there. And I'm assuming it probably was her coworker up until that moment she finds out he no longer works there. But either way, so she's like talking and they're both, she describes this person. Now, the ex-coworker, whatever you want to know, they spend a lot of camera time right then and there. And then the person you'll see next, and these are the only people you're going to spend time with. This is very important information.
Yeah, this is the reason why, one of the reasons we don't like the prologue. There's many reasons we don't like it.
So she's like talking about her like day, remember? And then she's like basically explaining like, yeah, like my contract's about to be up. I normally get it re-signed. He's kind of being mean, saying I have to get this really big talent, but I can't find anybody. And the guy doesn't help at first, but he's like, I may or may not know somebody.
He's like, I might regret telling you this information, but, VTubers are hot right now.
And then gives her the name of this like really popular VTuber who at the moment I can't think of the name of the character in the story. Either way.
I can't either.
So it's like this really famous one and she's like, oh my god, you have to put me in contact with them.
But immediately as the player, you already know who it is. It's that guy. It's going to be that guy. So the whole time you're just groaning like, okay, well, when's she going to figure it out?
So then they set up the meeting and you're like, at this whole time, so this is what makes it awkward because you're like, I already know this is a guy. I'm really not understanding, and you could almost say that you think the VTuber. I know you couldn't. You couldn't even say you thought
couldn't.
The VTuber
they literally
was
show a picture of the VTuber, and they're like, "Can you believe this VTuber is this guy?" That's how they start the whole
prologue.
So
you couldn't even go with this disarray of illusion or whatever, suspension of illusion, whatever it's called, because I don't know the words. But
I don't know what it's called either, but I know what you're saying.
But like in the idea that like maybe it was him on the screen, and now she's seeing him in person, like. You literally know it's not. Like, she was confused by this.
Or you think, like, okay, so they're just showing, like, how they get introduced, and now they're going to jump back to the scene at the train station. No. They proceed to go into, basically, her having an online Zoom meeting with this popular VTuber, thinking it's a woman this entire time.
She never asks why it has to be Zoom. She never says, like, how come it has to be Zoom.
Yeah, I guess, I know, right? Because they have to do, she didn't know it had to be in person at the time. At the time, she thought the VTuber could do this dance. They basically give them a dance to do. And the VTuber, if they can do the dance on the stage for the commercial, they'll be hired, and then they sign the talent, and she gets to keep her job. But what ends up happening is even after all these many days of practicing, it goes on a while. Like, it's a little too long, I think, for a prologue. I thought it was like a full week of them practicing this dance.
It might have been, and I'm assuming, but she knew that the VTuber was CGI, too.
Yeah, she knows it's just a VTuber. Like, she didn't know she would ever have to see who it really was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because they thought they could do it at Zoom. But then the bombshell comes after they've been working so hard. The guy goes, you have to do it in person. And she didn't think the VTuber would be okay with revealing her identity. And the VTuber says, no, we worked too hard.
Not only that, there's a fix-in because Miyu was supposed to get it. So Miyu was always going to get the part. And it didn't matter who auditioned for it. That was going to happen. So
they don't find that out until they actually get there because then they realize they've been learning the wrong dance the whole time.
Yeah, but no, she found out like the day before and then Miyu said that she was going to go anyway, or the VTuber said that they're going to go anyway.
Yeah, but they didn't figure out it was the wrong dance until they got there.
The wrong dance, yes, but they knew about the fix in the middle of them practicing.
Yeah, but basically the sabotage has like been going on this entire time.
Yeah.
And there's multiple different points. So there's a fix with Miyu, the fact that it has to be in person, even though it's a VTuber, so it kind of kills the point.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, that they learned the wrong dance. Mm-hmm. And so basically that goes on for a really long time, and then you finally get back to the part where they're at the train station, and that's right before the actual performance. And they end up getting the role, right? Surprisingly?
Yeah, so that plays a part later. So either way, so you meet, his name is Suzumu. So Suzumu, and I don't think he even says his name yet, but Suzumu is there. So you meet this guy, he's like, I'm going to still do it. You're like, You're supposed to be a girl. But
yeah,
okay.
you're like, are you sure you're not gonna get embarrassed?
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Going up there doing like a female dance when you're clearly very male
And he's like,
presenting?
nope, I'm okay. So, okay, at this point, you've only met 2 of the main cast. So then the auditions are
And you
rolling
spent
out.
most of your time with this VTuber. The scene with the friend, that really wasn't that long, but that's
No.
the most you get with another candidate.
So then the judges come in, and one of the judges, his name is Arata, who's part of the main cast. Who in this prologue you
Is
only
that Blue
see,
Pants?
Yeah, Blue
Okay.
Pants. He's there, and you just see him, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's a powerful influencer. He's so beautiful. Don't talk to him. Don't say anything to him." This is the last interaction you have with him until later on in the prologue, and there's the same amount of time in interaction. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
So then the VTuber Suzumu, he does the dance. It's embarrassing because it's completely the wrong dance, the wrong music.
But it ends up being like charming and funny, so he
Yeah.
still gets the part.
So excited now. She's like, yes, I'm going to keep my job. I'm not going to be homeless and need a place to live and no money. She goes and tells the person that they got this large VTuber, and then her boss says, I never said we were going to give you your job or extend your contract. I said we maybe would, and they fire her.
And now keep in mind, this has been 90% of the runtime of the prologue is this whole arc. So you think now that she's got basically the contract, she's good, and then you're going to go into the game.
Yeah.
But she gets fired. So then it's almost like you're back to square one. And I guess we can talk about like our biggest concerns with it after we give the rundown. But basically now she's been fired.
Yeah, as soon as now she's fired, she's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm going to still give Suzumu this contract. Oh, and Suzumu comes off as charming to her. Like, oh, we're such good friends. I'm so glad we did this together.
He has such good perseverance.
Blah, 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 blah. So then she goes and says, hey, can we meet up so you can sign this contract? And so he's like, okay, yeah.
But we have to meet at this one place.
And so the place they meet up is at a bar that is also was like for burly men. And they do this and display that it's for burly men by having gym equipment in the bar.
But also it's a sidekick shop, and she notes that before she even goes in.
And it doesn't
it's
make
very
any
weird.
sense. So then she's like, hey, like, I'm gonna let you sign this contract. I still want to go to this agency. You know, I'm so grateful that we got to work together.
Which is so nice of her, because I'd rip the contract. I'm
For
like, you're
sure.
not getting somebody I worked hard for.
I'll be like, listen, I'll start my own agency today.
Yeah,
Right
no.
this moment.
We're
I
not
don't-
doing that.
You. So either way, then he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. If it's not with you, I don't want to be with anyone. She's like, oh my God, that's so like heartfelt. Like, and so she's
touching.
like suckered into this. So then out of nowhere, he's like, do you want to come work for me?
Yeah, he's like, why don't you work here? And she's like looking around. There's like cobwebs everywhere and these random burly men. And she's like, I don't know, like if I want to do that.
And they whip out this contract with her, and then they're like, yeah, like I'll just work for you. Do not tell her what she's going to be doing.
And it's like a fake contract she couldn't have time to read through.
And she does. She's just like, oh, I need my, like, it's a random thing that they like harp on, is that it's her seal, like with her name.
Yeah, her little name seal. She basically, doesn't she sign it?
Yeah, she signs it right away with no questions, nothing, because she's like, you know what? I don't have a job. I don't know, you know, and he says, like, this guy seems so amazing and nice. And as soon as they do it, they basically like, wrap it up, boys. We got her ass.
All of a sudden, they just bring all of the candidates out that you could possibly date. Maybe give them a second of screen time each. They're like, this person's the bodyguard. This person does this.
Yeah.
Like, it's very quick. This person's the lawyer.
Yeah. Oh, no, they didn't show the lawyer.
Oh, they
They
didn't?
never show the lawyer. The
I
accountant.
saw people showing, oh, okay, the accountant.
Yeah,
I saw
the
people showing screenshots, and they're like, I want to play this one. I thought it was the lawyer. But.
Yeah, the lawyer is not optioned yet, which is dumb because you would think they would show him, but that's neither here nor there. Either way.
You spent the entire prologue with Suzumu, basically.
Yeah, so this prologue seems like it was written to be, he is clearly the canon for one, but for two, that there is no other characters that you would care about. So even before all that, you sign this contract without even knowing what you're going to do. Don't even know why they would like you. You don't even present any skills, but they present that how Suzumu got the role, which is because Suzumu uses his powers of money, because he has a lot of money because he started this company, and he basically got Arata to be one of the judges by using the fake medium abilities by saying, oh, you have to hire this guy with the double dimples or double like birthmark.
Yeah, so basically they see a wave of opportunity for people who basically fall for psychics and things like that.
Yeah.
Not saying they're not real. I actually do believe in some psychics, but that's kind of this, basically their scam is like, okay, somebody on this judges panel believes in psychics, so when they have him, Arata, come out and say, somebody's gonna come and do a performance, and they have a mole, so then it's Suzumu, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's how they get the role, by just basically scamming people into the situation. They set somebody up to come in, and they act like they foresaw it.
Yeah, and so then the person goes with it, and then that's how Suzumu gets the role. Now, this is the second time you've seen Arata, who was a judge earlier, who does not talk that much to you. It just is what it is. And then you see, his name is Taro?
Yeah.
The bodyguard who was used to spread rumors about Miyu. And it's the lamest thing I've ever seen. He's just like, oh, is Miyu in a relationship? And for those of you who are not too super into the idol world, idols typically are not supposed to date. It's really taboo, and they're people, so yes, they can date. We're not against it. I'm just saying.
And I think it's kind of changing a little bit,
by little,
but not that much.
A lot of it is fans feel like they shouldn't date, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, they want to envision. You never want to kill the fantasy that the fan could potentially be with the idol, even though that's literally not real, but that's basically the idea behind it.
Yeah, so that's how they were spreading rumors, and then fans were turning against Miyu, and so then Suzumu gets the role. And
and they did all of this basically just to get her, right? To work for them.
Yeah, but... So, and you never talked to Taro. He never said anything else other than the flashback as to how he got the fans to be convinced that Miyu sucked.
Yeah, and it's like a sentence. Like, this is all very, very quick. This is like the last 10% of the runtime of the entire prologue.
And then the coworker comes back in and is like, I didn't really want to scam you, but I had to.
I had to scam you to get you in here.
And they do not, and then basically the prologue ends. Like, so you're like, I'm not going to be with you crazy people. And then they're like, well, you don't really have a choice, and you already signed it. And she's like, I'm going to get out of here. And then they randomly have the burly men come in there, and they say that.
Yeah, they're like burly, and then they're like Chippendale dancers, and you're like, that's it, and that's the prologue.
That's the prologue. You don't, and so it left me with, you don't know. I don't even know what skills she had that they wanted. They kind of explained it, like they talked about foreseeing that they wanted you to part of the team, but they don't explain why they want you part of the team.
Yeah.
Unless this is a talent agency to talent and scope out other people to scam, I'm not understanding. There were so many questions.
So let's just give, like, basically what our overall thoughts of the prologue then.
It was so messy and chaotic, and it had no direction. I'm not even sure what the game is about.
So I felt sad and disappointed because it seemed interesting, and then secondly, it was just a dumpster fire.
It was a dumpster. I was disappointed too because you could not pay, if you literally had me in a room full of people and said, I will pay you $1 million to tell me exactly what this prologue was about, I would be like, I have to leave because I don't know.
Yeah, like, it's, like, this is the best that we could do. Basically, she spends 90% of her time trying to win a job that she's not going to ever get to keep. Like, it's fixed from the beginning that she's not going to get to keep the job. She's with a VTuber that's actually a man. I don't know why him being a VTuber has anything to do with anything. And there's just a bunch of scam artists.
And I really don't see how, like, they don't talk enough to me about them being mediums. Like,
that's the whole thing, I thought.
And you don't get any of that. Like, you would literally have to play the game, and maybe that's their goal, is that you play it because now you get it. Because I have no idea that they're psychics at this point until the very end. And them being psychics has literally no bearing on anything other than the Anata moment.
Yeah, because it feels like just that very end piece was like, whoever came up with the story probably only had that end piece of the prologue, and they're like, we'll just write a prologue to get us to here. And they just did it in like 30 minutes, and they rolled with that. They didn't ever storyboard that or like check out, oh, maybe we should try and give every love interest an equal amount of screen time. They did not do that.
Yeah, and to me that's important. And I don't know if it's important to anybody else, but for me,
it is to me.
If I'm going to play a game and I'm going to play the prologue, especially if they're previewing it beforehand. So if a game has the characters out, I might play the first chapter. But let's say they don't. If I play the prologue and I only get to meet one character, and if I don't like the character, I will not play the game.
Yeah.
Because the prologue was so bad that I didn't get a chance to meet any of the characters. So one that I feel like it does a good job of like their prologue and gives you equal time with the characters is
Dreamy Days.
Dreamy Days is one of them.
Which, by the way, we are going to do the Dreamy Days episode. We need to do a full podcast, and we kind of want to get specific outfits for it, so that's coming later. Just wanted to let you guys know.
Another one, even though I'm not a super fan of the game, they do give you equal time, is like, oops, I said I do. They give you equal time with each character.
The confusing part of it is Voltage as a whole tends to give you equal time with the characters. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's not like super duper quality time, but you get a good snapshot of what each character is. Like
in this, they just didn't care.
I can't think of another game on Voltage's roster that has that bad of a prologue. Can you?
No, I can't.
Like Masquerade Kiss has a great prologue. First Love Diaries has a great prologue. Be My Princess has a great prologue. Like, I just am trying to think. I can't think of a single one that you don't get that.
And this one, it was just very, very rushed, and so it left me having more questions and answers. I want to know why they would want to be within. I guess that you can say, well, in the route that you'll figure it out, but it's like, I need to know, kind of leaving the prologue, what the plan is for now. So, like, if we're, okay, in, like, Star-Crossed Myth, if they're telling you, like, there's all of these things going on, and you're supposed to help one of the gods. I know one of the gods that I'm going to pick is then going forward, I'm going to help them erase their sin. That is my objective of the plot.
Right, that's a very good point. I don't know what we're doing for the game.
Yeah.
That's the big problem. Like, I guess I was a little too focused on just the guys at first because I'm like, I don't know who I would even like in this lineup because I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
But even worse than that, who am I? What am I doing here?
Yeah, like, I don't have a job. What do I want to do? You're left with more questions than answers, in my opinion.
There's no setup.
Yeah, because it's like, you could say, well, the plot doesn't always have to, you could have one centralized the idea. So, plug in our game Forevermore. Hero is always technically the center of how everything really gets started in certain instances. She was a child, they were teenagers, they wanted to do this as their career, now she's in that career, now you have several projects to do. Now when you
so in ours we had to do a little bit of extra work because of how different everybody is from Hero. So we did that. Like in the prologue, you get a different project. So basically shows you what you're going to be doing. Like in Daichi, I'm going to be renovating a hotel with a guy who's mean and doesn't want to take any of my ideas.
Yeah.
You know that right away. Like, is that the route I want to play? Or do I want to go for my childhood friend who it used to be this sunshiny pop idol and now he's being a bad boy and I need to turn around his image and figure out why, because I know Hero deep down isn't like that.
Yeah, and so, but at the helm of it, you know that a project is the plot of it. Mm-hmm. No matter what happens within, no matter the other plots, this subplot is that we are working on a project, and at the end, hopefully we get through this project some way or another, and that's it. That's how prologues, in my mind, something is supposed to happen in the bottom that brought us together.
Because I need to know, do I want to spend money on this and do I care about this story?
Yeah.
And I can't decide if I care about this story because they didn't give us any information.
Yeah, like same thing, Romance MD. Like, I'm a doctor, so we're going to be like being Grey's Anatomy in this hoe.
Yeah, and that's the whole vibe. Like,
that's it.
Like, so sometimes you don't even need it to be as specific as we are with Evermore on each person's route. Like,
yeah. It's just like, what are we together doing? But like in this one, she lost her job and signed a contract, asked no questions, and then was like, that's it.
Like, I guess she's just there with shady scammers, but like, you can do that better. Like, even Kissed by the Baddest Bidder, not my favorite game. I know it's a lot of people's favorite games, but at least you get a good one. Like, okay, I just got bought in an auction, and all of these rich guys, I have to choose one of them to help with their shady dealings and figure out more about what it is. And she's asking questions, whereas like the MC here isn't like, I need to get to the bottom of this. She's not having any motive.
And then they stay in the previews of things like these shady mediums. Who's the medium?
And which one's the medium? I don't think there are any mediums. I think that's just one of their scam plots.
But it's like, who does what? Then the friend and why it is so. Again, I just will not play the game. Plus, it's a love choice. I will tell you all right now.
That's the other problem.
If it wasn't a love choice, I might even test out a route to see like what it was. I read some of the comments that I read. It was like, it's a slow burn, but then I did read some truthful ones when they were like, yeah, no, for as much money as you have to pay to finally get to this.
Love Choice is around $37 a route.
I think that is, I would just say, I would say this, Love Choice, like in general, to me, is so, like, annoying because you're 12, it starts off with 3 hearts, then 6 hearts, then 12. It's like, you're coming out of pocket $40 for one route. Now you double that with like, you go into 2 routes and 3, it's like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And you don't even get to play it again, like, as many times. You can't, like...
You can replay it and everything will be unlocked, but you can't just be like, oh, I want to go back to chapter 5 again and, like, watch that scene. You can't do that, and there's usually way less CGs. I'm not sure how many are in this one, but, like, in the one that I played in Masquerade Kiss, there's maybe 3 CGs.
I think in this one there's 2. And, like, there's, like, 28
chapters.
There's,
like, so many chapters, so it's just not...
It's
just not a vibe.
And so, because I didn't like the prologue, so I disliked it so much, I'm like, I will not play the game. It was not a good idea. Like, if you all have played it, Leave your comments on how you felt. I just personally did not like it. It was so a dumpster fire. One thing I can say I liked, and it's because I like the color scheme, kind of like for Cupid's Parasite. The colors
just the
were
theming.
the themes like that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and they were trying to be topical clearly all the way around. They tried to be topical with doing the bright colors because that's a trend right now. They tried to be topical with the VTuber. They tried to be topical with the mediums. But it was just like all in a dumpster fire of a shot.
They were like, let's give every popular idea and put it into one thing and then write this prologue in a matter of 45 minutes and then just see what happens.
And that's what happened. And they messed up too with the coding because they had split it into two, but it's like just all in one.
Yeah, so
it's
if you
weird.
played chapter 1, you got both chapters, and if you hit 2, it started from like the middle again. It's bad. The sky thing was so off-putting because I was like, is she outside? Is she not outside? Is she outside?
Well, if they had just switched it and then faded out, that'd be one thing. But they go right back to the scene she was just in, so it's so confusing.
Like it's day to day, so you can't really tell.
Yeah.
It didn't make any. That was bad.
But if you guys have played it, please try to tell us what the game is actually about since you finished it. If you have,
let me know what, and also I just want to know what made you like convinced you to go through that. Like, was a prologue to you like interesting to you, and like what made you be like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out?
Or maybe you're just an otome whore and you play every otome game because that used to be me. I just don't have time like that anymore.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of otomes, so this is like because we do is like we played it so you don't have to. So somebody commented on our wanted video saying like about I cannot remember his name, but it's the one where it's like they at the end of the Misaki, and he's like, we're siblings. Well, I guess apparently they find out that they're not siblings, so spoiler alert, they're not actually siblings.
I forgot about this.
Anything that made the story worse. They should have just left it at siblings.
Because they were already okay if they were siblings to just run off into the sunset.
Yeah, they just went with it, but then apparently they found out they
in
weren't
the epilogue
siblings.
they're not siblings.
Yeah, and that
they probably must have gotten a lot of flack for that, so they're like, just take it away.
But it was an old one, so they already had that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, just in general, like in Japan when it initially came out, they do the season 1 first, and then in the epilogue they like correct it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So apparently, like it was just like a misunderstanding, and so for me that's a problematic. So like you plotted this whole thing based off of one misunderstanding. That's weak.
Yeah.
Weak plotting. I hate that. Anyway,
this is a good segue though, because we're talking about basically voltage updates, like little updates on things. We have 2 more things to talk about. That was one of them, technically.
Yeah.
The other one is just there's been an update to the way the app looks, and it's a little bit nicer.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because we always slam them for that.
They probably watched our video and they're like, yeah,
it's pretty bad.
It's easier. The titles, they have like...
We'll show it on the screen.
Yeah, they have like subcategories, whatever, which is a lot easier because now you're going to it. I want to address something. So they have the rankings on like one part of it. And
I'll pull it up on mine.
Yeah, so they were saying like, here's like the top stories. Okay, Miyabi from Enchanted in the Moonlight is like number 3 or something.
He's number 2, dude.
He's number 2? Which one of y'all is playing that and saying yes, queen, yes, daddy?
Was it free or something?
I don't think so.
If it ever was, I could see why then that one would rank so high. I don't even know. This must be like just for like a week or a month because his POV, AG, and Oops, I Said Yes is number 1, and there's no way that's overall number 1 bestseller forever.
No, because
it's brand new.
Like a couple days ago.
Yeah, so
because Miyabi being number 2, I'm sorry, he definitely, R words, essays the hell out of the MC multiple times.
Yeah, number 2 main story Miyabi.
He made Ota from Kissed by the Baddest Better look like a saint.
And Ota's number 6, by the way.
It's like that Sweet Chapel or whatever.
It's a very specific one.
That one came out the other day too. So
that's why it's high up.
Miyabi's either was free recently, but if one of y'all play him and y'all like Miyabi, we need to talk. Let's have a come to Jesus moment.
Stop it. Get some help.
And there's not even music in that one. I have such a problem with that.
Yeah.
I need to have music. But number 3 is Eisuke, of course. Number 4 is Kirisawa from Metro PD. Low-key a super good route. If anybody's followed me from my very, very first channel, that was my first Let's Play. Yeah. It all got taken down, but it's a good route.
She was like, let's start on the high and let's end in the low.
But the other voltage thing that we wanted to bring up was we thought it would be a fun idea if you guys pick, because there are certain voltage games that we've refused to play because they're just older, we don't like the concept. And so we want you guys to vote on like the worst voltage game to force us to play it and do a review on it.
Yes, and we'll play it, you choose it, we'll play it.
So we're talking Celebrity Darling, Pirates in Love, Captain's Cut. Like, these are, to us, ones that we've never even thought of playing.
Yeah, I think there was, like, the one, like, where you're the ghost, like, any of those, so any of the ones that you
Ghost of You, yeah, whatever one you think we'd hate the most.
Yeah, you think that's, like, the worst, or the one that you, like, are really, really, really interested to see if we'll play it, but we'll put a poll.
Yeah.
And then you'll vote, we'll play and we'll review it for you guys, obviously our honest.
Honestly, it has to be one we haven't played yet, though, so let's just tell people, one that I think people might vote for us to play is Kiss Me on Clover Hill, because that one's really bad. Like, I would do anything other than play that game, because it's so boring. Like, it's just the worst.
I've never played that one, no, I don't know.
Don't.
And then the Captain's Cut, because so before, I will say they used to have a previous
we have
one.
to talk about this.
And so in our previous video, because people were like coming at us, they did have the Pirates talk, and they had changed a character. They whitewashed the character.
Yeah, so this is what happened. We pulled it up and we were just talking about games that we don't think people talk about that much or don't rank that well. I can't remember what the name of the video was, but we passed by that one and I said, we don't want to play this one because in the prologue they do pirate speech all the time, like yo ho ho, and it's like so annoying.
Yeah.
And I got that from Martha here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's how it was when she played it way back in the day, and I watched her review of it because she commented on that. But now they did a whole revamp called Captain's Cut, and Martha also did a video on this, and we found out that they even whitewashed one of the freaking characters.
Yeah, so
like,
that's one we haven't played, so if you want us to see us play that one, yeah, Celebrity Darling, I have never touched that game, and I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, so let me pull this up and see what's actually on the docket.
You.
That one's the one that I'm like,
Yeah, so yes, the only
Celebrity
way you're ever
Darling.
see us talk about that one is if you vote for it.
And it has to be a traditional, like, voltage game. So, like, I'm not gonna say, I know neither of us have played Court of Darkness, but it's not traditional, I don't think. And then also Love Choice ones we're not gonna do because we just feel like it's morally wrong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay, so ones we have not played, Kiss of Revenge.
Oh yeah, I think I could not get into it because of the prologue and the idea behind what she's doing.
Office Secrets.
Office Secrets. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, I wish we recorded us playing the prologue.
So we played the prologue. I feel like it was hilarious. So yeah, we would totally, if you guys want us to play that one, because we didn't play any characters, we'll go back through that.
Pirates in Love, Captain's Cut. Sakura Admits Chaos.
I've never.
I don't think I've played that one either.
I thought that Samurai Code.
I get them confused.
I thought that one Samurai Code or whatever. I thought that was a revamped version of Sakura.
So did I. We like talked about it. We're like, yeah, they revamped it. And
so
we
like,
just
when you
moved
said,
on.
I was like, yeah, I played Sakura Admits Chaos, and you're like, no, dude, those are two different games.
They'll be on the screen because I don't know.
Some of you ain't gonna catch me playing, period. With this,
Well, it has to be voted for. And, like, over time, like, if you guys end up liking the video, we'll do it again with all the leftovers.
We might like some of them. We might not know. Sometimes we're just like...
Because when we came for Captain's Cut, everyone was like, shut up. That's a good game.
I was like, how can you make that opinion and you've never played? I was like, I know. I can say that.
Anytime we haven't played a game and we make a comment, everyone's like, you haven't played the game. Like Kiss of Revenge, everyone's like, that's actually a really good game. So
I want to try that one honestly on the lowest of keys because I'm like, I want to understand what makes you be like, I went to medical school to kill you.
I think the funniest one though to play would be Celebrity Darling because that has to be bad. I mean, it's so old and it's so like, they're just kind of ugh.
Yeah. All right, so that pretty much is it.
Yeah, that wraps it up.
Yeah, so definitely take a look though, or check out and follow us on Twitter and our community page because we do have a lot more coming up.
We don't have a set schedule, and we have learned this year to stop saying that we're gonna do something when we're not 100% positive we're gonna do it because we'll just like be gassed up one day and be like, yeah, we're gonna post every week from now on, and then we like logistically can't. So we will update you guys on there. So just like she said, follow us on Twitter. All of that, everything will be on the screen, and thank you guys so much for your support. We've had a lot of support on My Love for You is Evermore, lots of kind reviews. If you haven't played it yet, please do leave your review. It helps us out so much. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys here on the channel too, always commenting and coming back and staying with us while we are trying to get more on a schedule. Like 2020 we had one, we were like posting every week, and then 2021 just got crazy, but we are going to start trying to
2019 and 2020 were good, better. But yeah, we just have to it's been a lot, like
but you know, that's it. So we will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, you
say hey guys.
Hey guys.
Happy Saturday. Oh, we don't say welcome back.
No,
Damn.
we say welcome to.
And-
Welcome to
Illyria.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we clink and
Yeah.
drink. Okay.
Clink. All right. Get the audio.
It's been going.
Oh shit. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Oh shit, I forgot my line.
We're rusty. It's been like almost a year. Almost a year.
Almost.
Maybe a year.
Maybe. Oh my god, this is harder than it looks, guys. Okay. No.
Ooh,
I'm
I'm
like
about to
thirsty.
do something else. Ooh.
Does
Oh,
Mama
they're
look
both
good?
penguins.
I know.
That's the cutest
Have you
thing.
never noticed that?
No.
Oh
I
my
never
gosh.
thought- Think about it.
I never brought it up out loud, but I always was like, yeah, we both have penguins.
All right.
Okay.